Hey, good morning guys, it's Glenn from Sniper Photography here today on this beautiful winter's morning. Sorry about the birds and the cockatoos and everything else out here. They've been rather naughty today, the boys there. I don't know what's wrong with them, but there must be rain coming because they're really making a racket here in the park, so just excuse that noise in the background. Look, today I've been given another lens by Canon, kindly been given it to test drive today, and that lens is a fixed focal length. In other words, it's not a zoom lens, it's a fixed focal length. It's a 24mm, what you could call moderately wide angle. If you're shooting with a full frame camera, this lens will be 24mm. If you're using a crop sensor body like a lot of people these days, the 24mm lens, when you put that on your camera, is going to equate to about 34.9, but I'll round it up to 35mm. So you put your 24mm lens on your crop sensor body, and it's really going to be virtually a 35mm lens. And in essence, that's not too bad, because shooting at 35mm, you get some really good angles and good shots. You can get a bit closer to your subject. Not really good for portraiture work or close-up facial figures because it just distorts a little bit. But for overall general photography, this lens, by geez, if you haven't got this in your camera bag, I think you're doing yourself an injustice. So I'll show you what it is, and this is it. Now Canon have kindly given me this to test drive here today, so I'll show you. This is it. This is the 24mm. I'll come down towards it close to the camera. That's it there. The 24mm STM lens. So basically, it's affectionately known as a pancake lens because it's so darn small. Look at it. Very small. When you put this on the face of your camera, you think, well, I haven't got a lens on the camera. It's just so dainty, and it's pretty cute actually. That's the EFS Canon 24mm STM lens, affectionately known as a pancake lens because of its flat looking appearance. But it's very light, it's very small. Look, in my hand, you can put it in your handbag or put it in your camera bag or even in your pocket. You know, saves you carrying a camera bag around like this one here. But Canon have kindly given it to me today to test drive for them and do a report for my YouTube channel. It's Sniper Photography. It'll be also on Facebook under Sniper Photography. So with that all said and done, I'm going to hook this up to my camera and we'll go and have some fun with the Canon 24mm STM 2.8. Okay guys, I've got the 24mm pancake lens located on the front of my camera. Obviously there it is there. You can see how small it is. Have a look there. See how small it is. Okay, and just over here you'll see a sign, self-explanatory there, but the idea here is I'm going to get close to this sign and check the depth of field at 2.8. I know what it's going to be like, but basically we've got a lot of shade cover here with the trees, so I think this is a good test, or a good first test for this lens. Let's see how we go. Okay, I'm at 1/80th of a second, 2.8. Get the exposure right. Let's have a look at this. Now take a look at that shot. The lens seems to be not soft around the edges. The focusing's very quick and it's very silent. You wouldn't have heard that motor working in this video because this microphone I'm using is very good, so picks up anything really. So I'll take another couple of shots. Just want to vary the f-stop and see what sort of light transmission I'm getting, because as I said, we're under the shade and I've deliberately picked this spot. So I'll take another couple of shots and we'll just see how we go with this. Okay, so I'm going to go to f4. That's giving me a shutter speed of 1/80th of a second. The focusing's very good. It's very silent and very quick. Not too bad. Not too bad, so far so good. But I think I'll focus on a larger structure such as this pergola area here, this pavilion. I'll turn the camera around because I want to see what the 24mm does. But so far at 2.8 and f4, the depth of field is pretty good. It's quite pleasing actually to use this lens, and it's not breaking down around the edges of the photo as you can see in those shots. So I'll just spin the camera around and we'll photograph this pavilion here, which I have many times, but it's just a good example of, especially when using a wide angle, of how to capture an image like that. Let's go and have a look at this. Okay guys, I spun the camera around. We've got this pavilion here, as you can see just here. Now at 24mm, I'm probably standing about, I'd say probably 369 metre. I'm probably looking at about 4 meters back from the pavilion here. So at 24mm, I should be able to frame that whole pavilion with that distance. And I'll be shooting at f2.8, and I'll be at probably around about 1/80th of a second here, and I'm shooting in manual mode. So let's see how we go at this distance at 24mm with the Pancake lens. Okay, we frame it up. Okay, so basically what I'm doing at 2.8, it's telling me I need a shutter speed of 3/50th of a second, so I'll take that shot. Yeah, it's not too bad. Slightly overexposed, which I can fix obviously by changing the settings in the camera. But the exercise here is to show you that with this 24mm lens, you can get fairly close to your subject and the depth of field is still pretty good. So, and at 2.8 you get that slight blurry background. So what I'll do, I'll up it to about 5.6, and then obviously the shutter speed's going to change. So let's see how we go. I'm not moving any closer or any further back from the pavilion, so all it is just changing the camera settings. See how we go here. Okay, standing in the same position, I now will be shooting at 5.6, which reduces the shutter speed to 90th of a second. So I'm a bit slower here. See how we go here. Not too bad. It is slightly overexposed, so maybe drop the shutter speed a little bit, but as I said, this is just an exercise to show you what I can do with getting so close, or not that close really, with this fantastic little Pancake lens. So I'll take one more shot. I'm going to go to f8, so I'm closing down the aperture. I just think what I really want to do is test the low light situation. So even though we're in shade here, I'm still trying to create a lower light situation. So what I'll do, I'll close the f-stop down. I'll go from 5.6 to f8, and naturally that'll change the shutter speed, so because I'm in manual. So let's see how we go. Okay, same position. I'm now going to f8, which is now reducing my shutter speed to 60th of a second. I'm at 45th of a second, so I'm getting very slow here. We have to hold the camera fairly straight and tight and steady. Okay. Looking at that shot, I think you can see that this lens will work in fairly low light situations, even at 5.6, even at f8. And I shoot in manual there. So what I might do now is put it in Aperture Priority, where I can set the aperture, but the camera is going to set the shutter speed. So this will be a pretty good test, because this is how most people shoot when they're using these type of cameras. So I'll keep standing where I am. Switch the camera to AV on Canon. So that enables me to change my aperture, my f-stop, but the camera will pick the shutter speed. So I'll start off at 2.8 because that's what this lens is, and I'll let you know what the shutter speed is. Okay, the shutter speed is 500th of a second. So let's see how good this is. Not too bad in AV. So that's telling me that this lens will work whether you're shooting in manual or AV, and probably even program in auto mode. It's really a foolproof little lens. So overall, the depth of field's good at 2.8, we know that. Anybody that knows photography knows that. But as you increase your f-stop to 4, to 5.6, to 8, 11, 16, 22, whatever it is, I think in the hands of a competent photographer, this little lens will work for you. It's pretty darn good. I really do like it. Out of 10, I'd probably give it a 9 really. Only because it's a crop censored lens that I'm using. But other than that, geez, you know, for under 300 bucks, Canon's on a winner with this one as well. So that's the 24mm STM 2.8 Pancake lens. Do yourself a favour, get in and have a look at one, even test drive one yourself in a shop, they'll let you do that. But yeah, not a bad sort of lens from Canon, well done. Well, that's it for today. I think I might go home and have another coffee. It's still a bit cool here, so. But yeah, thanks for joining me here today, and as I always say, be nice to yourself, family and friends, but most of all, you'll have fun, and please keep shooting. Bye for now.